too early for this. It is.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, man. We got Cavassier Chase, Chase GPT, Spicy Chase, all of the above in the sound booth. We got Woodward Sports MVP, JB Smooth in the
Jay
TD
Bizzle.
booth. Shout out to our brother Flannel Sam. We miss you. We love you. Can't wait to have you back. That is Sam Reynolds. That dude, Justin, Matthew Broder. Up here on the desk, it's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network.
That man.
We got right here KG. He already got Rookie of the Year, man.
This
Detroit's
man.
#1 draft pick, and he's going for MVP. Something similar like Cade Cunningham. What a rise. It just happened like that.
At the same time, man. That was a good draft class. It really was.
And you know what? Somebody who's already a legend, already. We got to get
I
the
look
drum
up to
roll
this man.
going. Hey, you talk about it, man. Let's get it going. Hey, yo! Shout out to the legend, Detroit News Rod Beard. We get to cover a Detroit Pistons team that is above 500, currently tied for 7th place, and they have some pretty big games between this next Indiana Pacers game and the next time they play them.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot that's determined. I believe even all-star starters, positioning, and Rod, the Detroit Pistons are closer to a top 4 spot. We've been saying this, in hosting a playoff game than they are to actually falling out of the playoffs.
Hey,
Rod,
man.
take it away with Rod's thoughts.
I told you 38, Rod. I told you. It might be more than that.
Crazy times, man. We are absolutely in crazy times.
We made it, Rod. Woodward Pistons.
Like we're at 21 wins right now. What are we doing?
I told
It's
you.
21 before the All-Star break. All right. Look, man. These dudes are rolling up into Madison Square Garden and just shaming the Knicks. Like,
That's where we at now.
that's where we're at. We're talking about, okay, these, and I said it last week, I think. They're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, and they're winning ones that you would look on paper and say, that ain't happening. They can beat the Knicks at home, but they're not going to MSG and beating the Knicks. Sure enough. I mean, this is where we are. I mean, this team is, I can't do it on January.
Do it, Rod, please.
Come on.
They might be going to the playoffs. Not even playing. I'll stay there.
Playoffs.
Win.
Playoffs. Not
You know what?
even playing.
And Rod, I raised this point earlier in the week, and I've been kind of just looking at it now for about a good month and a half, that the Pistons, they were a team to lock into because of the identity and makeup that they have,
Yep.
but also they are less dysfunctional and more stable, even with Jaden Ivey's injury, than a lot of the other teams that they are currently in the runnings for. All these other teams, there's constantly just rumblings about even their star players, the Atlanta Hawks. Every trade deadline we hear about, man, do we really love Trae Young? We hear about even some of their other players until some guys like John Collins finally got traded. You're looking at even the Magic, who are dealing with major injury concerns and are still concerned for the future. There's still restrictions that they're going to have to place on potentially Banchero and Franz and these guys, and Mo's gone for the year. Jalen Suggs is injured. You look at Miami Heat, and we already see what's going on there with Jimmy Butler. This thing is primed for the Detroit Pistons. If they continue, obviously, to play the way that they have, to do what you said, be in the playoffs, not just to play in that top 6 spot. I know that's something to ask the trainer. He's been shouting for a few years, and it looked like they should have gotten there, but they're finally capitalizing. And I think it is due to a lot of what J.B. Bickerstaff has done for this team.
Let's say this. I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about the trade deadline and saying they could be that third team because they have the $14 million cap space. You don't have to be that third team. You could be like, go get somebody. You can be the team that's making do you want to upset this roster and the balance of this roster in order to go get somebody who can make a difference? Maybe. I don't think you can win the East. Can you win a round in the playoffs? Depends on how the rest of the season kind of finishes out. But you can make a move right now because the East isn't it's more top heavy, but it's not as balanced as we thought in the beginning of the year. And again, what I always do, can you be better than 5 teams? If you're better than 5 teams, you're in the play-in. If you could be better than 7 or 8 teams, guess what? You're in the playoffs.
Goodness gracious. What up, though, brother?
Yeah, right. And we've brought it up before. They are doing this in the presence of Jaden Ivey not being with the team. That's their second leading scorer. And even I thought that, they would kind of take a little bit of a nosedive without Jaden Ivey out there. But Stick just walked in the studio, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know what time it is now. But what have you seen from some of the veterans on this team, some of the young players on this team, to where they've been able to weather this storm and show their resilience and be able to win without Jaden Ivey being on the floor?
I think it's created some balance, and I like what Tim Hardaway has been able to do. And again, it's not just the scoring. In that Knicks game, it is the extra pass to Beasley, and that's a vet pass because that shot was there for him. But you know Beasley's got the hot hand. He had just hit that other three. Shoot it over to him in the corner, and he can knock that down. And Tobias, we said it was going to take some time for him to find his place. We thought he might be a 22, 25 point per game scorer. That's Cade. And so I think we're starting to see some of these things settle in, even with Jaden Ivey being out. You're seeing other people start to take some of those roles and some of those. You just see little things like Isaiah Stewart not backing down from Karl Anthony Towns. You're seeing Jalen Duren, when the time is right, he can make some plays. He's not completely polished and finished yet. Asar, just doing little things, just being in the lanes. Ron Holland does little things. Everybody's finding what they do well, and this is what we said at the beginning of the year. When the chemistry is there and they figure out what they're supposed to do and they get comfortable, they can get dangerous. I didn't think this dangerous this quickly, but J.B. Bickerstaff has had that impact on this roster.
He has, and you know what? Even Trajan Langdon said that he did not expect it to look this good, this fast, and obviously a lot of that has to do with just not how all-star Cade looks, but just how flat-out star, and a lot of people don't want to use the word, but superstar. Generally, that term is something attached to a player that transcends also in marketability purposes and reasons. But in terms of just sheer talent, Cade Cunningham is doing his thing right now. And it's awesome to see the supporting, the support that he's getting from the vets, the young players who are staying consistent as well. What up, Dokavasie Chase? I got to get your commentary in before we go to Swish or Brick. Swish or break?
I'm just feeling the Pistons. They got me fired up. Like Rod
I gotta say that, Rod, just so you know, because you haven't seen his energy this entire set. He's been in there like just on one. So I'm like, you know what, Chase, what up though, man?
I mean, Rob was just talking about like not really expecting us to go into New York and beat the Knicks, but I mean, like we were talking yesterday, like we can go in there and we can rob that bodega anytime we want it. Like, Cade said, I want this, I want that, I'm taking it, you can't do nothing about it. Like, so I'm fired up. These Pistons got me hot and they got me ready to go.
Bro, I am fired all the way up, man. Let's get into this.
Not the bodega. Not the bodega.
Not the bodega.
I love it.
I was a boy then, I'm a man now.
Can you snatch us a swisher for the swisher break from the bodega?
Oh, we can snatch whatever you want, bro. We got some pocket change from the bodega, too, bro.
Go give me a chopped cheese, too.
Yeah, the Aki way.
Let's get into this swisher break.
Man.
KG will read a statement. I will make a case. We'll go around to the crew, and Rod Beard will give us that last point.
And I got one to add to the list that you gave me. So it's a Cade one, so I think you'll like it. But can you play me some music?
Yeah.
DJ Chase.
All right. The first statement in Swish or Brick. Cade Cunningham is the best point guard in the East. Swish or Brick?
Yes. Cade Cunningham this year is putting up stats that only LeBron James and Nikola Jokic are putting up. The Detroit Pistons are winning. We're now starting to see the effect, and they have what some people believed were just marginal vet improvement, marginal free agent. It wasn't the splash. It wasn't the star. We see Zach LaVine tearing up the league right now. It wasn't that type of player. We see right now the Detroit Pistons as they've gotten their chemistry. You give them a little bit of time to get their chemistry with a new team, new coach. They've been one of the hottest teams in the league. They started off 0-4. They're currently 21-19. So you can do that math. And Cade Cunningham has been the catalyst. The stats are there. The wins are starting to be there as well. I got to start with JB Smooth.
But this is Swish. Why do we even gotta argue with? As you said, you see the stats. Why are we arguing this? Who's better than this man right now? Somebody tell me.
Kavasi Chase?
Yeah, I mean, the net barely moved on that one. That was just a clean bucket.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's not many people that you can put in front of him at this point. I mean, to me, Jalen Brunson is kind of taking a step back. What's my man from the Pacers?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton. He's kind of falling off. I'm not really seeing a lot of guards in the East besides Donovan Mitchell that are really just better than Cade Cunningham at this point. So I would go ahead. I would say this is a major swish.
Yo, you know what? Before we get Rod's take, I'm seeing Denver Blair swish, Randall Small swish, Tuan Hut swish, Weezy D313 best point guard in the league. That's similar to Tim Hardaway when Omari Sankofa for the Free Press asked him, hey, Cade Cunningham's been one of the best point guards in the East. He said one of the best in the NBA. Rod, what did you give your answer? You gave yours. Right?
Yeah, I said swish.
Yeah. Right. Rod, what say you? Deliberation.
It's a swish.
Let's go.
Hey.
It's a swish. I mean, the numbers. Close your eyes when you look at the All-Star voting, because that's obviously not a reflection. But if you watch Pistons games, you know he is the best point guard in the league.
Hey,
this year.
Let's get to questions.
And that's perfect because that leads right into our next statement of swish or brick. Listen, if the Pistons continue to win, Cade Cunningham should get MVP consideration. Swish or brick.
Cade Cunningham.
Not right. Hear me out. If they continue to win, being the caveat.
At what level? Let me. Okay, at what level? They finish where?
They finish in a top 6 playoff spot, an actual playoff spot.
You said it yourself.
Number 6 or like number 3?
Hold your answer, but
Okay.
Number 6, because this is the thing here. This is what I do want to be able to enter in. We have some evidence. Cade Cunningham, from clutch points to others, even ESPN is starting to pop up on people's MVP rankings. They even had him clutch points. They had him in front of one Donovan Mitchell. They had Cade 7th, Donovan Mitchell 8th right now in the MVP race, which blew my mind because I wasn't even thinking. I'm sitting here like, can we get my man on the All-Star game?
Right.
All-Star starting questions? Awesome. All-NBA? But no, people are starting saying that they see the effect that Cade Cunningham and his style of play is having on his team, having this type of renaissance, for lack of a better word.
And we're just talking consideration. We're not saying he's going to win the MVP. Just should he be getting the consideration?
Top 5 or top 10?
Top 5.
Ooh. Top 5, JB Smooth. That brings it in just a little bit because he is getting top 10 consideration. JB Smooth, what say ye?
It brings you in a little bit, but I don't think it sways my decision at all. Give me a swish on this one. If the Pistons finish in that top 6 spot for the playoff, I definitely think he should get a nod, a nominee for it at least. Not saying that he'll win it, because obviously there are some other nominees that are probably a little bit better, but just to see his name up there, I would like that. So give me a swish on this one.
Cavassier, Chase, what up, though?
What up, though? I'm going to say it's a swish as well. I think his ranking in the MVP voting is going to kind of correlate with where the Pistons are in the playoffs. So if we're going to keep flirting with that 5th or 6th spot, then I think he's going to keep flirting with 5th or 6th in the MVP voting.
Sheesh. Hey,
Yeah.
KG, what up, though?
And that's where I'm at. He should be at least 5 or 6 if the Pistons continue to win, and he continues to be the catalyst because of that. You brought up the stats yesterday. The only other players averaging around 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists are LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Cade Cunningham. And he's doing it from the guard position. So I think we need to take that into account. He's also one of the league leaders in triple-doubles. If the Pistons continue to win and he's the catalyst for that, then I don't see why he's not at least 6 or 5 in that conversation.
3rd in double-doubles. I think 3rd in total assists right now. So it's like he's up there right now.
And if the Pistons can pull it from the gutter, like going from 14 wins to being a 6 or maybe even 5th seed in the East, I mean, that's an argument. That's an argument. But, Rod, of course, what say you?
I'm going to say this is a brick, and I'll tell you why.
Talk to me.
They would have to finish in the top 3 in the East in order to really get some serious consideration, because I'm telling you how national voters are and how the media will be. Jokic is going to be higher. Giannis is going to be higher. Tatum is going to be higher. Karl Anthony Towns, because the Knicks are good, is going to be higher. Donovan Mitchell eventually is going to be in that conversation, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because OKC is going to be good. That's 5 people. That's 6 people. That's 5 already there that are going to be in consideration. And if the Pistons don't finish in the top 3 in the East, Cade will get some consideration. So I'll say it'll rattle around, but it'll pop out because he's not going to be higher than those guys who are in that conversation every year.
Okay, and that's a very, very good point by you. But I'm gonna roll that into this because we kind of talked about this last week. Should he be?
You gonna roll it? You gonna roll it in Swisher break?
Hey, it's Swisher break, ain't it? So you know I got you, man. I gotta
roll it. Okay, all right.
I gotta roll you something good. But I asked you this last week, and now we have another week of data on our side. Should Cade Cunningham be considered for All NBA this year? And like I said, first team, that's fine, but second or third team, I still think he has a legitimate shot to be a All NBA player this season. What say you?
Oh, is that the
me first?
The question? Is that the Swisher break question?
Oh, well, I didn't want it to. I was just asking Rod, but if
Rod,
everyone wants to answer it, that's fine.
Oh, I think
But yeah, I did ask him this last week, and last week he said no because of pretty much the same reasons for the MVP.
Oh, so
but
just an
now
update on
yeah.
from
But
Rod.
has that updated at all, or do you still believe that he couldn't make at least or second or third team?
I think he could possibly make a third team, but again, with All NBA, you're talking about the entire league, so he would have to be top 6 guard in the league.
And you already said he's top 6 in top 5 in the East, or the best guard in the East. I'm sorry.
Right, but,
yeah, you say he's best guard in the East.
You're talking Shea.
Yep.
You're talking Luka if he plays enough games. You got Ant.
Yep.
Luka's already under the game.
You're gonna have Donovan Mitchell, Dame, Jalen Brunson, and Trae Young. He's in that conversation. He can be All NBA. Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will turn on that. I think he's in that conversation.
That's right.
Okay. What'd you say, Chase? My bad.
Luka is ineligible for the awards.
Oh, because of injuries.
Because of the injuries.
He'll be under
Okay.
the minimum threshold for games played.
Hey, you know what? Hey, and let's get one more Swisher brick question in there, and then we'll get to the next segment.
No, most definitely. And the last question in Swish or Brick: the Pistons vets should all be held and not traded.
Hey,
Swish or Brick?
Listen, Rod, I started the show and I told the people this. This is a unique set of veterans who they have a lot to do as well with the Pistons winning right now. As much as we wanted to see Tobias Harris turn things around, and you were bullish that he would, and we've seen him turn it around now over the last few weeks, and it's been instrumental, especially with Jaden Ivey being out. Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway has actually been a part of and been a catalyst for the Pistons winning games, as well as Malik Beasley down the stretch. And all these guys actually want to be here. I don't know how easy it is here we've heard this for years that we don't get the free agents. People don't want to go to Detroit. All of these players have unique ties to here. They're contributing in big ways right now for this young Pistons team. And if they're overachieving, exceeding expectations, maybe it's a recipe that you don't want to mess with. But JB Smooth, Swish or Break.
I know
Hold
you see
the vets. Do not flip them.
And this is all of them now.
All 3 of them.
all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
I know you guys are seeing this as like, hey, you don't want to stir the pot and you don't want to mix up what we got right now because you see
it's mixed
good.
right now in the
it's
chat.
good. It's working, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm still not a fan of Tobias. I'm still not sold on this man. I don't know what it is. Like, he's putting up nice numbers right now these past couple games, but I'm not sold on him. So no, this is a brick for me. Somebody has to go.
DJ Cavassier Chase, what up, though?
That's a brick for me too. I think Tobias has played really well, and I think he's recouped some of his value. I'd love to see him be part of a trade. Maybe like I said, the Pistons are trying to be the third to three-way. Maybe he's like someone we used to match salary. For Jimmy Butler to go to Houston, and then from Miami, and then maybe we end up getting like Cam Whitmore out of the deal. It's like a sweetener or something like that. So.
That's right. Stand on business, Chase. I would love to see him be in a trade.
What up, KG?
But
Go ahead.
I think Tobias is kind of the person that I get hung up on because Tim Hardaway Jr., sure. Malik Beasley, sure. These are younger players, and to me, they've contributed just a touch more than what Tobias has. And if we were to keep him, there needs to be a serious conversation about him going to the bench. Maybe not this year, but next year and the years going forward. So I'm not sold on Tobias just yet. Although, Rod, I have to give it up. You were absolutely correct. It's going to take Tobias a little time. We're starting to see him play better now. But, of course, what say you?
Did Brandon go already?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh yeah, I made the case, definitely.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I
would say brick. I would say brick.
Tell me who you get. Yeah, let's do that first. If you can get somebody who drastically improves it, and I get the questions about Tobias. If you're going to get Jimmy Butler, you're going to get Zach LaVine, I can listen. If you're going to get a better player, an all-star caliber player, still the questions about Levine's health and everything else, but if you get somebody who is going to improve the roster, then I can listen to trading one of the vets. It is not Malik Beasley, though. He means too much. All that talk that we had said about whether he should be coming off the bench or starting, coming off the bench as that sixth man is exactly where he needs to be, and we're seeing why.
Yeah, perfect role.
Perfect. Hey, Rod Beard, as always, bringing the heat. That is Swish or Break, our Swish or Break segment. And we also had Rod Beard, the Detroit News Sports Editor-in-Chief, on for just kind of look at the Detroit Lions. He gave some really, really dope comments as well on the Red Wings. Go back and watch the full segment if you missed it. And he helped to be able to just clarify things for these Commanders fans out there who or might be underestimating exactly what the Detroit Lions team is despite the injuries. This is where they got it. They got it out the mud.
Yeah.
They got it out the mud. So to be right back there to see them actually get number 1 seed overall that way. They could have gotten it without, any injuries. I saw this, Rod. This news blurb came across this morning. Everybody on the Chiefs is healthy, including Patrick Mahomes. All their people are back. The Lions don't got that, and they didn't have that. They don't have that. And they got number 1 seed anyway. So why am I going to be concerned right now? Oh, y'all have defensive, injuries right now. Yeah, we had that week 5 and week 6 and week 1 and week 7 and week 9. Pick a week. But I'm fired up. Thank you, Rod, as always. Any last words for the people? You got the chat fired up today, brother.
No. I think it's just going to be a big week for the Lions, and the Commanders are going to be a challenge. I don't think it's going to be an easy time, but I think the Lions win this game.
Definitely. Hey, I'm glad that we got that on the wax, because I know the next time we talk to you, it'll be breaking down the victory and then talking about the next matchup as well. Thank you, Rod, as always, man.
Salute.
Thank you so much, brother. We're going to have Cody in here on Friday as well to talk a little NFL playoffs, because I know he covered the NFL as well as to talk about the Pistons, because he's one of those people from the outside who's covered this game who said, I believe the Pistons are in a position to have a Houston Rockets type rise. So we're going to revisit that stuff. Detroit News, their people are great. They're doing good work. Make sure you guys tap in with them. And thank you once again, Rod Beard, the legend. Go ahead, like the stream for the legend. Let's get to that next segment.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you, Rod.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Yep. How do you not love Rod Beard, man?
Man, every single time, bro. Every single time. Just who he's meant to us, professionally, and then what he's meant to me personally. I'm telling you, I'm not in the position I'm in without him. I remember the chance that he took on starting the pod with me in like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember the meeting still here like it was yesterday, and he was looking at me. He said, "You know what? Let's do this." And I don't think he understands how much that day meant to me. Like, me and Quinn Kool-Aid went out and celebrated that night, and I never even told him that. That was everything in the world to me as a Pistons fan who grew up a fan of his work, knew that he went to Michigan.
Yeah.
It meant the world. So shout out to Rod Beard, because he did not have to do that. He stayed through the noise. He stayed through my ups and downs of trying to get better in this thing. And it's just a testament to who he is. And that's what the drum roll is for when we drum roll Rod in. So, hey, let's get to this next segment. What friends we got to say what up, though, too?
We got to hit on with that Wake and Bake special. That Jars and Sabbath coffee.
I need both of those right now. Both of those.
Let's go to Elite Transition. He was over there cooking this. I saw him over there smirking. He knew. I'm about to drop a bar in their heads. Let's go.
Let's go.